Konnichiwa. Welcome to the international community. I'm Carvelli, Master of Finance. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Today, our topic is documents required for a car loan. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need, and the best thing, is a driver's license. But you may not have that, okay? So in prime, which is good credit, you could probably get away with not having a driver's license, but in subprime, which is your credit's not so good, you will require a driver's license, at least one person on the contract. And keep in mind, if your ID is outdated, the driver's license, like the address, you can always go update it and bring the little card in, which is great, or bring a house bill with you to prove that address if they'll accept that. Now, if you've immigrated to the country and you're already a permanent resident, of course, bring that. Permanent residency with you is good to have. But if you're not permanent and you want to bring some documentation, your work permit, your study permit, or some type of immigration status that the government gives to you, bring with you. An example of an issue with this is how long these are good for. Typically, if it's good for 2 years, you're not going to be able to get a car loan for 5 years. It goes by the dates on these documents, okay? You have special circumstances, like you're getting child support and different things like that. You're going to need a letter from legal counsel stating the child support if you're going to use it as income. Or disability, another area. Short term, normally not too looked at. Long term, yes. You'll have to get disability proof or your bank statements proving this. This is some other documentation that's unique that you can get. I wanted to go in another area of special finance, which is subprime bad credit. This gets complicated for IDs. They like someone with a driver's license on the contract. So you have to have a driver's license. But if there's 2 people on it, you could get away with only one of you having a driver's license. But they do like documentation that's more thorough. So bring all your IDs with you, your passport, your ID card, any type of photo ID, bring them all. It's not going to hurt. You're also going to need proof of income. Now with Prime, sometimes they'll waive it. And even if they don't waive it, you can always be bold and say, can you just waive my income? They may be able to do it if your credit's good enough. Now, if you do need income verification, you will need to get your 2 last pay stubs with the year to date. So that means full pay stubs, not just a half printout from the website. You need full actual pay stubs with all the information on there, okay? Very important. If you can't get that, you're gonna need your taxes for 2 years back probably. They might go with 1, but typically 2 years back. And you're gonna have to give those to the finance manager. Now, being self-employed or subcontractor, which is similar for sure, you're going to need 2 years of NOAs, notice of assessments, or your taxes for 2 years, depending on if you're subprime or prime, will depend on how many you need, okay? If you don't have this for some reason, and you want to go based on your bank statements, which is a good strategy, you're going to have to show 6 months of deposits with invoices. So you're going to have that, okay, to prove and match that. This is a good strategy too, if you don't want to get into all your taxes and all your business. This is not a bad method if they'll accept that. Subprime clients, which is bad credit, often the time will want a job letter. This shows how long you've been working there, what your income is. They want some proof in a letterhead, or they'll even call your employer. So you may want to get the letter instead. That way you have control of what it looks like. I'd highly recommend that. Another area that's really important that you're going to need documentation is in bankruptcy, consumer proposal, Chapter 13. In many countries, these go under different names, but you're going to need a letter. The first letter for bankruptcy is going to state that you're discharged. You're going to need to bring this in with you. Or on a consumer proposal, Chapter 13, you're going to need a letter stating that you're keeping up with the payments. This is very important because the subprime bad credit bankers are going to want to know this, okay? Very important documentation. Another point is if you haven't had time to update your credit bureau, or you did and it's not updated yet, and you have some bad stuff on there like an R9, a collection, a judgment, any type of this stuff, and you have letters to prove this, bring this in with you because they will definitely take this into consideration on the decision on getting you approved on your credit. Now, if you're under 3 months on the job, which is a probationary period, which the banks frown upon, you want to have a job letter with your offer and the commitment for your job. This is going to really help you for your approval also. Question 1, do I need a driver's license for a car loan if I have bad credit? Yes, you do need a driver's license. Majority of the time on bad credit, unless you have a co-applicant, which is a co-signer on the contract with a driver's license. So yes, you will need a driver's license, somebody on the contract. Question 2, do I need bank statements to get a car loan? No, you don't need bank statements depending on what you have. If you have pay stubs, notice of assessment, which is NOA, tax papers, your T4, you need something else if you're not going to want to show your bank statements, okay? Question number 3, work visa. It's expiring, for example, 2.5 years. Well, yes, you can get a car, but the payments are going to be very high and it's going to have to be for 2.5 years, okay? Which is a little bit challenging to do. And also, the car is going to have to be cheaper, which is another challenge because you don't want to buy too old. But technically, you can do it. Thank you for joining us today. Invest yourself into financial literacy with me. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, and like us on Facebook. Thank you very much once again. I'm Carvelli, Master of Finance. Hope to see you soon. God bless.